Hi, my name is Jose Calero, President and Chief Product Architect of LapWorks Inc. And today I'd like to show you the Tower iPad mount. Alright, the Tower iPad mount is not complicated, but really is an incredible convenience for people who want to use their iPads in different situations. And when I'm talking about different situations, I'm talking about perhaps when you're laying down in bed, or when you're sitting in an easy chair and you'd like to have the iPad close so you can see what you're watching, a movie or whatever it is. But there is no product like the Tower iPad mount. It's very unique, and I'm going to show you how it works here. The first thing you need to know is that it comes to you in three separate parts. The base with a pedestal and the handle, the flex neck, and also the bracket that holds the iPad. And so the first thing I'll do is I'll just show you, I'll do a quick setup on how we set this up. And then we'll do some close-ups a little bit, show you how these things work, how they connect, and then how they work in order to give you all the different angles and inclines that you want. So the first thing we'll do is we'll set up the base. When you receive it, pull it out of the box, the first thing you do is just straighten this out. Very, very simple. Next thing you do is you pull out the two side legs, as I'm doing. And I'm doing this on top of a table, so it's a little harder, but here you see it. And there it is. The legs open up almost into a starburst, as you can see, and they have these rubber tips that are very grippy and hold it down. So the next thing that you would attach is the flex neck, and then the flex neck attaches to the plastic bracket. I'm going to show you how to do all this a little closer, and then we'll attach my iPad so you can see how it works and the different inclines and angles it sets up into. So let's set this down on the floor here. There she is. Okay, once you have the unit set up, legs expanded, the next thing we want to do is attach the flex neck to the plastic bracket. And the way that works is, and I'll show you some close-ups in a minute, but we'll just go ahead and set this up now in here and snap it up in there. And I also have to tighten it so it won't come out. So let me just tighten one of these screws so this won't slip out of me. Okay, that's good enough. Now the next thing we do is we attach the flex neck and the bracket to the stem here, the male-female screw stem, and it doesn't take any tools to do this. It's all done by hand. All right. Now, from here, you have the product set up, and you need to know how some of these things work. The first thing you need to know is that this flex neck does bend. It is bendable, and it bends to whichever direction you want to turn it to. Okay, the next thing we want to do is loosen this tightening knob, and then be able, and I'm going to turn it this way so you can see this, and be able to turn this down. You can see, first of all, the bracket, the plastic bracket, rotates in the socket very nicely, as you can see here. And then it has a slot where it cuts and allows it to slide a full 90 degrees. So as we bend the flex neck, you can see what's happening here. It's turning into different positions and angles, and as we also loosen this, you can see that this also turns to face you. So I'm going to go ahead and load up my iPad onto this and show you how all this works in unison, okay? First things first, we're going to loosen this, release the locking tab. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen our 2-loop iPad handle, this is the latest in iPad convenience. It just takes a couple of fingers to hold the unit. It does have a spinning mechanism that allows you to go from landscape to portrait. And it also has a little support arm that I don't have here, but it allows it to stand up. This is one of our favorite units. It has been a big success for us, and it allows people to use their iPad very comfortably by not just one position, but multiple finger positions. All right, enough for that. Let me get to this. Comes off very easily, very quickly. There you go. Put this over here. To put the iPad in here, you just slide it into the bottom part of the bracket, into the top, push it down a little bit, and pull up on the lock. There you have it. Now you can see that the iPad is firmly locked in there, and what I mean, let me demonstrate this. You can see that this is locked in. It's not going to fall out. All right. Now, the way this works is that you set up the iPad and you put it on the stand and you can watch either in landscape or portrait, whichever. Now if you're standing up, and I'll do this here in a second, if you're standing up, you can simply grab the handle, lift straight up, it extends 25 inches, and you can use this as a presentation stand or a presentation monitor when you're making a presentation. Now, we've had a lot of questions from folks about whether they can watch their iPad in bed, because there's a lot of different uses that people have been finding they can do with the iPad now that it is so light and portable. How can they mount it somewhere where it's convenient? Let me show you. If you're in bed and you want to watch your iPad in bed, watch a movie or a program or whatever, all you've got to do is first flex this forward. In fact, we'll turn it this way, flex it forward, and then you can see here that you can watch television or you watch your iPad just laying in bed looking straight up. Now if you're a little higher in your bed, you can raise this up to watch it at any position you want, and if you'd like, this also shifts. Let me shift this down a little bit. Here we go. This shifts down to where you can watch the iPad almost at any height that you need. This would obviously like lean into your mattress or wherever you've got it, but this allows you to cantilever the iPad over your bed so you can watch any program or watch anything you want on your iPad. Now, you've seen how this is assembled and how this works. Let's have some close-ups on some of these components so you can see how they come together. Okay, this is the flex neck. This is the portion that attaches to the stem and the handle. Okay, so you can see that this is the flexible part of it. It does take a little effort to flex it, but it's not meant to be too easy because you want to have it somewhat rigid. Now this part here, I want to focus in on this. You can see how by loosening this, okay, how this turns, and up here there's a cut where it actually rides 90 degrees or a little more than 90 degrees, but it does flex. And this is what you do when you're watching your iPad in bed. You would flex this over like this and turn it this way and then tighten it up, and voila, you're watching your iPad in bed. Now the next thing we do is I want to demonstrate is how we attach this, the metal attachment that's attached to the flex neck onto the plastic bracket. And here's how it works. You can see that there are two screws back here. These two screws will recess into these holes so this won't come out once it's locked in place. But there's 4 grips here and 4 slots here. You simply line them up like this and then push forward. And once you push forward, then you just take a screwdriver and tighten them in. And you're not screwing into it, there's a hole there. But what this does is it prevents the metal locking bracket from coming out. Now you've got it in place and ready to go. One more thing I wanted to show you about the bracket. The bracket makes accommodations for the height of a product and also makes accommodations for the thickness. Listen to this. You can move these out if you have a thicker iPad. And it ratchets down. Do you hear that? It ratchets down to whatever thickness you need. Now for an iPad, you just use the very last setting. And the way we do it is you take the iPad, set it in place, and by the way, I want to also point out there's rubber cushioning here, rubber here on the back for the iPad, and rubber down here. So the iPad never touches any hard surface. So you drop the iPad in here, push down on this. Now you put a little pressure on it, and then once you have the pressure, you snap it. And that's it. That holds your iPad. Your iPad's not going anywhere. So now we want to go ahead and position this for bed viewing. You tighten this down with the slot to the front so it allows you to do this, okay? So let's go ahead and tighten this down now. Let me do that. Here we go. Okay, it's tight. Now we're going to attach this to the iPad, screw to the pedestal, screw it in, and then we'll be able to bend it over. We'll show you that in just a moment. All right, let's attach this to the pedestal. Put it up in here again, begin screwing it in. Now, by the way, I've done this in this manner and in this order to demonstrate to you how it comes together. But ideally, you would normally take and just attach this flex neck, attach the plate to the bracket, and then after you've screwed this in. But I'm doing this because it's difficult. It's not difficult, but it's easier to do this way. Okay, we've got it set up. Turn it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention something. This handle you push in, and it allows it to extend or contract, and it also allows it to turn. But you've got to push the handle in. And then that allows it to rotate literally 360 degrees, as you can see what we're doing here. Okay, so once you have this in place, let's say you're good in your bed, you would fold this down like this, and then you would, turn this a little bit this way, extend it out over your bed, cantilever it over your bed, and now you're watching television. And if you want, you can turn it and rotate it to what would be portrait as you were watching it laying down. So this is the Tower iPad mount. We think it's an excellent product. We think it has lots and lots of potential and lots of convenience for people who want to watch their iPad, whether they're sitting in a chair, in a recliner. They can bring it right over and set it up and watch it comfortably and easily. So please think about the Tower iPad mount as a good accessory for you and your iPad in watching and viewing, enjoying your iPad in a multiplicity number of positions. Thanks very much for watching.